Laura Beth, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, sure can.
Okay, perfect. I have a new laptop and I wanted to make sure my mic was working properly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Smith. Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Outstanding. We'll get started right at 9 o'clock, guys. Thank you for being on. All right, good morning. It's 9 o'clock, and I want to thank everyone for being on the call and the virtual meeting for us to talk about federal programs here in Anderson School District 3. My name is David Nixon. I'm the Deputy Superintendent in Anderson School District 3, and I'm here with Cheryl Smith, who works with federal programs and also our transportation department. But to start everything off, I just wanted to talk about how important federal programs are in Anderson School District 3. Approximately $1.3 million of our budget comes from federal programs, and there are a lot of things that we would not be able to do in our district if it wasn't for the support of Title I, II, III, IV, and V in our district. So in an effort to keep our meeting brief and to cover the information we need to, we'll go ahead to our next slide, which is talking about Title I. Title I is our largest program, and the design of Title I is for districts that are high poverty districts to be able to have the resources and provide the experiences for students that other districts in more affluent areas are able to provide for their students. So that is the 5,000-foot view of what Title I looks like. On each of our slides, you can click on the actual title in the slide, and it will take you to a definition and description of what that program does. But all of our federal programs, Title I through V, that is their intent. Number one is to provide funding so that our students can have those experiences and smaller class sizes and all the other things that may be available to students in more affluent areas. And then secondly is for federal programs to have a grassroots type structure where we can have people from our community, people from parents, community members, liaisons within our schools, teachers, administrators, they all have the opportunity to speak to how these funds come to our district and also how these funds are spent. So we really appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to day. Look forward to your input and look forward to you sharing with us ways that we can improve. We're always looking to improve in Anderson School District 3. And while I can go ahead and right now take the opportunity to say we're ranked number 6 in the state for performance overall. And we're extremely proud of that because as a function of performance in relation to poverty level, there's not another district around us that's like that and performing at the level that we are, which is a testament to our faculty, staff, community, teachers, parents, that we use these dollars as efficiently as we can. And those have been translated in the last decade into higher student performance. We're extremely proud of that. So great news from that side. So now we're going to cover news that might not be as great. We have seen a reduction in our Title I funding, almost $100,000 from previous year. And you can look in the last 5 years, we have had $100,000 reduction. Some years have slightly increased, some years have decreased, but overall, we're sitting about $100,000 less than we were in previous year. Now, we've worked hard at the district level to not have that impact our schools. And one of the things that we have tried our best to cradle and take care of is our student to teacher ratio. So the most important thing we can do for students is provide good student to teacher ratios. One teacher with a handful of students, a talented teacher with a handful of students can make extreme progress in a given year. So we've not reduced any of the teachers that are paid for out of Title I. We have taken some of that money from our district set aside, which we're allowed to by federal law to pay for things at the district level. For example, in the past, we have had administrative salaries in Title I. Now there are no administrative salaries in Title I. All of those have been removed, and the only administrative cost is a small amount of supplies and materials for office supplies and travel to go to the fall and the spring federal programs meeting that are required if you receive the drawdown funds. So we've removed everything from that except for those two things, which are a requirement. So you can see that the lion's share in this, and the schools, as they get into their individual presentations, will talk more directly to how they spend their money. But the lion's share of the money is spent on teachers for classroom reduction. We'll also hear from our parent liaison, Ms. Melissa Davis, and she's going to share some of the more amazing things that she's doing. And interventionists, students have to work one-on-one sometimes to bridge those gaps. We are aware of that, and those interventionists working within our schools are very, very important to be able to help our students that are struggling and need a little help getting caught up. You can see supplies and materials have been greatly reduced. Purchase services, which are a lot of our computer programs and potential travel for administrators. And then finally, our indirect cost. And indirect cost is necessary operational expenses that really can't be directly tied to a specific project, but benefits multiple programs. So that's administrative salaries, rent, facility maintenance, copier cost, all those things that can't be captured in a nice package. That's where that indirect cost comes from. You can see that we do 2.8% of total budget, and we're allowed up to 4.5%. So we don't take the maximum amount, and that's in an effort for the money to be directly funded into our schools. And you can see that the money going down to the schools has had a tremendous impact on benefiting our students. Title I does fund our 3 elementary schools. We feel like early childhood and elementary education, if we get them off on the right foot, they're going to be successful all the way through. And there's a ton of empirical data and peer-reviewed journal articles that support that. And the performance of our district is evidence of that. So that's a 5,000-foot view of Title I. you can click on the Anderson 3 Title I page link, which is down at the bottom, and you can see the plan in its entirety. So right now we'll go to the next slide. One of the functions of Title I is parent involvement. And again, I think it's really, really interesting when you look at the data that's out there and look at the peer-reviewed journal articles. And Aaron Burke, they had a paper entitled "Parent Involvement: The Key to Improved Student Achievement." Significant factor and statistically imperative for both accelerated and sustained student academic performance. And the biggest thing there, the takeaway for parent involvement there, is that portion of that study that covered the sustained student academic performance. So they showed that when parents were involved early on in their program, in the child's education, that success was sustained all the way through. A lot of times our parent and high poverty districts have bad experiences with education and with the schools, but one of the first faces they see is Miss Davis, who works with our CERDEP program, works with 4K families, and does a lot in our district to increase parent involvement and create those important positive experiences for our parents within the schools. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Davis and let her share the amazing things she's got going on.
Good morning. One thing that we do is make sure that our parents are involved, and we like to share information with all our parents. We hand out flyers to let our parents know what a Title I school actually is. So we send out flyers. We put information through ThrillShare messages and on Peach Jar to get that information out. In the PowerPoint, you'll see that the parent involvement policy and the school parent compact is there. If you click on those, it'll take you directly to them. They're also posted on our website underneath the federal programs tab. So anytime anyone can look over it, review it. If they have any suggestions or any feedback, they can contact Dr. Nixon through his email with any suggestions we might have. We look at this each year and make revisions as needed. So please feel free to go in and look at both of those policies and give us any feedback that you might have. We also have a lot of parent involvement through our parent conferences, through meetings with parents, home visits. Those are some ways that we're interacting with our parents. We also have community events such as literacy nights at each school. We have stream nights at each school. We have trunk or treat and a lot of other community events that take place. To the right, if you can see the picture over there, that is Iva Elementary, where I gave out books to every student. I did that at each elementary school during their trunk or treat. We also have Raising a Reader program at each elementary school, and we also have it in the Head Start program at Star Elementary. This is where books are sent home bi-weekly. It's like a little satchel of books. The parents get to read those books to their students. We're trying to really push literacy in the home. So they get those, and then they bring them back to school, and they'll swap them out bi-weekly. We also have at-home libraries, and that's where in the K-4 program, I give each K-4 student a book to keep at home with them. And so I'm creating a library at their home for literacy. And so each month they'll receive a new book. We also have community libraries and learning trails in our community at each walking track at Flat Rock, Star, and Iva. There are learning trails there. We also have those community libraries at each one of the tracks. And then we have added 2 new additional libraries in the town of Iva. Throughout the year, I update those lending libraries with new books. Sometimes, people keep the books. Sometimes they put books in and get one of ours. So it's a fun way to try to push literacy in our community. Okay, next slide. We also do a lot of community events. So with the K-4 program, I did parent breakfasts. We did muffins with mom, donuts with dad. We even did grits with grands at Star Elementary. At each one of these events, each child received their own individual book to go into their home library. We also did some type of activity, like with Muffins for Mom. They were given a book, and then we had a little activity that mom could help them do at home or right there for Muffins for Mom. Donuts for Dad. We had the dads help them create a jack-o'-lantern. So they painted and put their faces on it. You can kind of see those in some of the pictures. And then for Grits for Grand, we had a little poem, and the grandparents got to paint their grandchild's hand and do their handprint. And it was just a keepsake that they could have to take home with them. We also have other family events that we do throughout the year. We're getting ready to do decorating gingerbread men with their parents. So we'll be inviting parents in the K4 programs and give them the opportunity to come in and decorate a gingerbread cookie. That's coming up in December. And then we have other events that will take place in the spring. We also do Lunch and Learn virtual sessions, and this is through our Triple P program and family literacy. And in this, I'm working with families that maybe haven't started yet. It could be our teen moms, our teen dads. It also could be some of our GED kids or adults that are in the GED program that have young ones at home. During this program, I meet with them. We do parenting tips, strategies to promote positive behavior, and those with the teen moms and dads, it's just a planning stage, like what's going to come next, things like that. So that's kind of what we do with our Triple P program and our family literacy. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at any time.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. We certainly appreciate all that you do. And I was at the Iva Elementary handout, and it's amazing that kids were more excited over getting a book and ramen noodles than they were the candy that everybody else was handing out. So thank you for what you do. That's what's amazing to me. And Ms. Davis understands this. A lot of people understand this, and you never know where that book's going to end up, or you don't know the lap that grandma has. Does that child's going to be sitting there and going to read that book and inspire that kid to have a lifetime of reading? So thank you for what you do. Again, grassroots at the school level, community events, all those things are so important to get information out to our parents. When we talk about struggling students, your mind sometimes goes to students that are impoverished, but unfortunately, we have a lot of students that classify as homeless in Anderson School District 3, and that's where our McKinney-Vento program comes in. We have 112 students that are categorized as homeless, and the federal definition is that you have no permanent nighttime residence. So a lot of people think of homeless, they think of someone that's living in their car, but homeless could be something as simple as the family is living in the living room of a friend or another family member, and not having that permanent nighttime residence comes with a lot of factors that causes those students not to perform as well. McKinney-Vento students say significantly higher rates of chronic absenteeism. At 48% of those students are chronically absent, and lower graduation rates, 68% graduation rate for those kids. So it's impossible for us to understand all the complexities for every child. And whenever you start adding the fact that they may not know where they're sleeping at night, the level of stress and anxiety negatively impacts those students. And this program is designed to give them a leg up, to help them with some of the basic needs. Majority of our parents are considered doubled up, living with another family. We send a letter to all of the families that had that classification and ask them to reach out to us for anything that they need. And those needs vary across the board, from a family needing just a book bag for the kids to have school supplies, all the way to students needing transportation to their school of origin, or to go to a separate school in another district we've even worked with, so that we can get them back to the school where they were originally displaced from, to hopefully not interrupt their educational experience any more than we have to. All of our employees receive training on McKinney-Vento identification through our computer program that we offer at the beginning of the year is required. They have to take it and they have to complete a test to show that they have an understanding of the program. So anybody in our district that sees a student that could be exhibiting signs of homelessness, they know that to report it. They know that that can come to administrators or guidance counselors, and they work with those families to figure out what those needs are and help those families. So the McKinney-Vento policies and procedures, you can see the link there. Of course, I'm not going to read those to you, but I would ask that you take an opportunity just to open them up. If you have any suggestions, these are built around the state and federal guidelines for how we serve those students and identify those students. But again, I'm going to say it multiple times, we're always looking for an opportunity to get better. So understanding what McKinney-Vento looks like is one thing. And then finally, figuring out how to serve these students. So there is a link there as well to the McKinney-Vento donor list. We would not be able to do and provide for the students in the way that we do with our federal programs alone or general fund money alone. So we have a lot of partners that come together and donate supplies, materials, money that we use for gift cards for students. And it is impossible to put everybody into a category and say, we're going to provide this. The situations are so varied that having that flexibility from our donors to provide for those students is absolutely imperative. And one of the ways that we decided to serve our McKinney-Vento students, there was an opportunity for a competitive grant that a team of people here at the district worked on and we helped wrote, but it's EHCY grants. And we were actually funded again for another 3-year cycle. We saw tremendous benefits from this program. It's a 3-year grant for after-school program for Crescent High School and Star Iva Middle School. We target those McKinney-Vento students, but are also able to serve other students in the student population that are struggling. So at this time, I'll turn it over to the teams there at those schools so they can cover how that program's working and what they're doing.
Thank you, Dr. Nixon. We at Crescent High, this program has been essential for some of the success we've been able to have. We have between 40 and 50% of our McKinney-Vento students participate in our after-school program, and we have seen excellent growth from these students academically. If you look notably on our end of course test this past year, we had 100% of our McKinney-Vento students successfully passed all of their courses, both core and elective, during the 24-25 school year, including all end of course tests. This level of academic achievement was not mirrored by their peers. We also have data that shows that our McKinney-Vento students outperform their peers on the end of course exams in English 2, U.S. history, and biology based on the percentage of students scoring 60 or higher on those assessments. Without this additional support, it is likely that our EOC scores and overall pass rate and performance in those courses would have been lower from comparing that data to the data of non-McKinney-Vento students. This program provides our students with an opportunity to meet with classroom core instruction teachers, and we were able to secure bus transportation for these students through this grant, and it just provided an area of extra help and support that we have not had in the past. And it's been, like I said, essential to some of the growth we've been able to see academically for these students. And it gives us an extra hour and a half twice a week to provide support and have those students here with us on campus at Crescent High School.
Good morning. This is Emily Wilson. I'm sorry it took me a while to get my mic working. We have the same McKinney-Vento grant at Sims. Last year, we operated from February to April. We're looking for an earlier start this year as we haven't seen the success and growth in those students as much as we have wanted to. Our McKinney-Vento kids did well last year, but not significantly higher than any of our other population, and they their attendance wasn't great at the program despite us providing transportation. So we really want to do a better job targeting them this year, right after Christmas break. We want to make sure that we make lots of phone calls, send letters home so that they know how much we want them to be here. But also we want to serve, I think we have 100 kids on our list. We have about 30 per grade level invited to our program this year, and we will be working with math, reading and writing, mainly with math. We'll have one section of reading and writing for each grade level, and we'll do a lot of test taking strategies and that kind of thing to prepare for SC Ready. I will say that in the past, when we have utilized the program, the kids have really been engaged. They have loved coming, and we have seen success and growth, but not as much as we desire to. So we want to try to get a better handle on the curriculum that we're using, and have attendance with fidelity of these kids, not having kids like come and then drop off, come and then drop off. So we're putting together a better plan right now to have that right after Christmas break. Get started earlier, have more time with them after school, because we feel like that's probably what they need. The majority of our kids did use that bus transportation, so I'm so thankful for the grant and for that transportation piece, because I do not think we'd have our population of kids come and attend the after school program if we did not provide that. So we're looking forward to it being more successful this year than in years past.
Dr. Nixon, for the chronic absenteeism for middle and high, I think this has traditionally been an issue for high schools, and it just became more so after COVID with absenteeism and tardies. We have taken a very targeted and intentional approach to addressing absenteeism at Crescent High School. We've implemented a mentor program for all at-risk students that involves our school counselors, graduation coaches, mentors, academic interventionists, and every salaried employee here at our school actually has a mentee, and we work through our professional learning communities to be targeted with this program throughout the school year. We have worked with other districts and collaborated on things that are going on across the state where folks have seen positive results with decreasing absenteeism. We have come up with incentive programs to recognize students that are not having as many absences and tardies, and we've participated in some professional development to try to continue to help us stay on the cutting edge of best practice and addressing these areas. We still continue to do our attendance intervention conferences. We have home visits on a regular basis through our guidance department and graduation coaches and administrative team. And we just continue to work with the county board and the chronic absentee folks there with truancy to try to cut down on the amount of absenteeism and tardies across the high school level.
Our attendance clerk at Sims has done a great job staying on top of those conferences along with our guidance program. So I would echo what Cliff says. We don't currently have a mentoring program, but I have reached out to West Carolina, and they are working on getting a team of people together to mentor our kiddos, hopefully in the new year. And when I hear back from them, some of the kids on our list are just at-risk kids, and a lot of those at-risk kids are at risk due to absenteeism. So again, I feel like we're taking a proactive approach. Some of these things, these doctor's notes, are tough to combat right now when they have those excused absences. But we try to do the conferences. We try to be very proactive. We have a great team of people together that are keeping a close eye on it. I do think a mentoring program would help. So I'm excited to hear that Mr. Roberts says that's working out well for them, and I hope that that's successful for us with West Carolina. I think that would definitely improve our chronic absenteeism rate.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you sharing. Can't teach them if they don't come to school. So chronic absenteeism is a national epidemic that we work with, and appreciate the links that you guys are going to try to combat that. And wonderful job with the after-school program. There's so much evidence out there of extra one-on-one and small group instruction. It's very, very targeted. You guys doing a phenomenal job with that program. I had the opportunity to present at a state symposium on federal programs, and we talked specifically about the use of the EHCY funds, and were selected out of the state as one of 3 districts to be highlighted at that program. So I shared a lot of data that you guys have turned in on those end of the year reports, and the room was very, very appreciative and very understanding. Had a lot of questions from other districts wanting to start their own program and use grant funding. So great job with that. And now we can turn it over to the elementary school principals. They're going to speak directly to their Title I plans, how they use the dollars within their schools, and a little bit about how they get the input from their local groups to help drive how that funding is being spent.
Good morning. Could somebody let me know that you can hear me?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Dodd, we can hear you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to start by saying thank you for attending today. These meetings are important to get our information out there and let you know what we are doing in our schools, specifically with our Title I funds. Miss Cheryl, I did want you to know that Miss Candace Roberts, Miss Darla Moore, and Miss Carly Heron are also with me today at school in this room. Could someone go to the next slide for me, please? Okay, before I talk about salaries, I did want to go back to something that Dr. Nixon mentioned, a couple of things. And one of them is how we determine how to spend this money. Every year we do send a survey to our families, and we send a survey to our teachers, and we go back and analyze this data, and we take the input from these 2 groups, and we use that to drive the decision making that we make, along with our data points with our students' academic progress to determine how to spend this money. I think one of the best ways we spend this money is salaries and fringe. At Flat Rock, we are very blessed that we are able to have 3 extra teachers in our building in 1st grade, 2nd grade, and our reading interventionist, as we have continued to learn with letters training and the science of reading. The earlier we are able to intervene with students, the better off we are. I was at a state meeting a couple of weeks ago, and the decrease in the number of children in our state who were not scoring MET on the reading portion of SC Ready is absolutely phenomenal. So we are continuing to see that our efforts are being rewarded with our children learning how to read at an earlier level. And I feel like because we have these teachers in 1st grade, 2nd grade, and our reading interventionist, we are able to proactively jump all over that, and we're making a difference for our students. Another way that we choose to use this money is through STREAM, which is science, technology, reading, engineering, art, and math. Some of the things we do at Flat Rock with this money, we have a robotics program. This year we have a new initiative, GEMS, which is growing elementary mathematicians. We were able to purchase all of the manipulatives that the teacher group requested. Every day we meet from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and children are working on their math fluency. We also, at the elementary, use a lot of consumable materials. We've seen an increase in this as we have addressed overuse of technology with young children. And so we buy a lot of paper and a lot of things that our teachers need to use in their classrooms. And then we also host a family stream night, and we partner with Duke Energy for that. And that will be something that we do in the winter. These are examples of some of the instructional materials that we use our Title I funds for. Again, we use consumables. That's anything from colored pencils, markers, paper, construction paper. We purchase books to support our classroom instruction. Our teachers are allowed to choose the books that they want to use in their classrooms to support their curriculum. We also support our Battle of the Books competition. And then we also support our Shine instructional materials. It takes a lot to do this intentional intervention system that we use, but it's working and it's money well spent for sure. Some of the programming that we use at Flat Rock, we use Progress Learning. That gives our teachers the ability to increase rigor in thinking and questioning with our students. We also use IXL, Vocabulary, and Generation Genius. I do want to take a minute to thank the district, and I want the community here to understand that due to the cuts that we have experienced in our Title I funding, that it made it a little trickier and a little more challenging to provide the services that we need. But our district, as always, stepped up to the call. And for things that we were no longer able to provide with Title I funds, Dr. Nixon worked with the district office and made it so that we were able to keep everything that was necessary for us. I just want to say thank you to that. So some of our school initiatives, some of these are new. We continue to have Shine every day, which is our intentional intervention system. We continue to have our behavior block parties. We are encouraging regular attendance. That's part of this behavior block party. And monthly, our students are earning their way to this reward. We are continuing in our second year as an elementary school using the iLead curriculum with our counseling services. We have seen a tremendous amount of growth in the collaborative and leadership skills of our students using this program. And then our new initiative this year is GEMS, and that is a math fluency program that we are working on every morning with the extra 30 minutes that we have been gifted in our school day. These are just some pictures from our community involvement. Flat Rock is a community school. We have an incredible support system from our district office, but we also have an incredible support system from our local churches and other groups, as well as our families. We've already had our trunk or treat event this year. It was the biggest it's ever been. We had 38 vendors support that endeavor. And tomorrow, our fifth graders are taking a field trip to Michelin as part of our Michelin Mentor program. We continue to have volunteers in our building every day with our Reading Buddies program. These people just show up for us in just the biggest ways. And so we're just very appreciative for all of the community members that we have who do play a huge part in our school. At this time, I can open the field. Does anybody have any questions for me? Okay, then thank you very much. Again, I appreciate everybody's attendance today.
Good morning, everybody. I am the principal here at Ive Elementary School. I'm Austin Powell. You'll see some of the things that I say are going to be similar to what Ms. Dodd said and what Ms. Ashley Hatcher will be saying as well. We, as this same situation, we always have our spring Title I survey that goes out to parents and staff, and then we use that feedback to provide support and any type of supplies, materials, anything like that based on the feedback that they give us. We actually also did a survey during the fall this year. We did it for our literacy night and our One Book, One School ending. We kind of combined all that together. So we did another survey just to see, kind of get some feedback on times that we are doing events and things like that, just to get some more feedback from parents as well. So you can go ahead and flip to that next slide for me. We pay for one first grade teacher, one fourth grade teacher, and then our reading interventionist salaries out of Title I. Just to give you an idea of what it would look like without those extra teachers, we have currently in first grade, we have 16 students per classroom. Without that extra teacher, we would actually have 22 students in each of our first grade classrooms. So if you do the math there, 6 students makes a gigantic difference in those first grade classrooms coming out of K-5 where they've got 2 adults in those rooms. So definitely thankful having that extra first grade teacher there. And then in 4th grade, another similar situation, but it would be a greater increase if we didn't have our extra 4th grade teacher there. So we are at 18 per classroom in 4th grade. Without that extra teacher, we would be at 28 students per classroom. So again, gigantic difference, 10 extra students. Having those students in your classroom is massive. So being able to decrease that to 18 is incredible for us. And then as far as intervention goes, Ms. Phillips sees all students in each grade level, I should say. She sees students from all of our grade levels, and then she does push into multiple classrooms throughout the day as well. We are using her too to help intervene with math as well, specifically in 5th grade this year. So that's something we've implemented this year. You can go to that next slide. As far as instructional materials go, we provide grade level supplies similar to what Ms. Dodd had said: pencils, cardstock, folders, binders, anything along those lines. We also try to do some enrichment materials as far as like novels. So as you see there, for 4th grade, they're going to read the best Christmas pageant ever, and they'll actually go on a field trip to see that play in December this year in Greenwood. And then in 2nd grade, they're reviewing the Heartwood Hotel. And then in 3rd grade, the Christmas Pig, just through some pull-out programs, and then whole group as well in some of those classrooms. As far as math goes, we have purchased, again, Math Olympiads, which is what we use for enrichment for math in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. It comes with some problem-solving solution books, or I should say problem-solving strategy books. And so I try to use those with 3rd grade specifically, and then 4th and 5th grade can actually compete in the competitions. Something new they've added this year, which is cool, that I've pushed out to 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade teachers. They do a problem of the week, and they are very similar to what you would see on those competition sheets as well. They pull them from old ones, so that kind of helps prepare those students as well. They can work on one of those per week. And then I also listed here our One School, One Book initiative this year. We did the one and only Ivan, and then we did tie that in with our literacy night this year. We had a huge kickoff where all the students came in the cafeteria. We revealed what the book would be. We had done videos leading up to that, giving them clues about what it would be about. I should have listed this as well. When we kicked that off that first Friday, we actually did Real Men Read. So we brought in lots of guys from the community, and then they read to each classroom the first few pages of those books as well. So it was great to see that to kick it off. And then again, our culmination, our ending there was the literacy night. So as far as subscriptions goes, we purchase a few extras other than IXL. So we have Progress Learning for 4th grade science, Reading Eggs for K-5 and 1st grade. And then one extra computer program we have purchased this year is Bookit. We use that as a little more game-based, but it can review both reading and math for mainly 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students. And then every year we do try to go ahead and get a jump start on the next. So for back to school materials, we always make sure we prepare and purchase our agendas for students in the upper grades, and then Friday folders for everyone. As far as school and classroom libraries, if teachers need any extra kind of books, we always help jump in and support them when needed. But the biggest purchase I would say this year is for the library. We made sure we could have extra copies of our Battle of the Books books from Ms. Fortner, and she runs that for us, and the kids love that. And then Stream Day, and I should say STEM Day and Stream Night supplies. Ms. Stone does a great job. We had our National STEM Day, I believe, week before last, that Friday. And I tell everybody every year, it's probably one of the best, if not the best days of the school year, because everything takes place from the time we start school to the time we end. We had multiple different members from the community, all kinds of outside resources that Ms. Stone plans. She's on right now. I'm sure she probably started planning next year's STEM Day as soon as she got back to school that Monday, because it takes that much work. Because we appreciate her and we support her in any way necessary to make sure that day is great for our students. Stream Night supplies is kind of the same thing. We always do that in the spring, so anything we need there. And then teachers can run those stations for students as well. As far as technology goes, y'all kind of understand when we have the Chromebooks and we have new screens coming up, whether it's Promethean or any other kind of touch screen that we have in the classrooms, Technology doesn't always play well. If you've got an older set of headphones, they may not work well. In this situation this year, we've kind of run into some situations where we have older document cameras that don't like to play well with the new touchscreen Promethean boards. So we've kind of had to update some of those to the IPEVO document cameras. So that's really been the only need there that we have run into. And again, it's just older technology not playing well with newer technology. And then the last slide here, I just listed some of our community involvement opportunities that are directly tied to Title I. So our school-wide trunk or treat, we did have Miss Davis and a few other folks here to help give out some things other than candy for books. Miss Davis was also at our literacy night handing out books. And I think Dr. Dixon said this earlier, it's great to see students so excited to get a book when, you know, at the next station, they may be getting, you know, a lollipop or some gum or something like that. They're just as excited to get books. Even our parents, you should have seen them at our literacy night. Our parents were talking about some of the books and trying to grab those as well. So always appreciative to Ms. Davis for being there for us in those events. Again, literacy night we had on October 16th to end our One Book, One School initiative. National STEM Day was on November 7th. And then just a couple of more events coming up. We'll have our Jingle Jam on December 18th. We also tie that in for our choruses musical production they do each year. And then our Spring Stream Night will be March 12th. Does anyone have any questions for me? All right. Thank y'all.
Good morning. Ashley Hatcher, principal at Star Elementary. I'm excited to share some of the ways that we are using our funding here at Star. And just wanted to echo what Ms. Dodd and Mr. Powell shared. We are very appreciative for the district office, all of the support with the cuts in Title I funding. We're still able to provide our teachers and our students and families with top instruction and make sure that all of those things are covered. Next slide, please. So we also cover a first grade teacher and a second grade teacher with our Title I money, as well as reading intervention. And as they shared before, we know how important it is for those early childhood grades to be lower class sizes. So those teachers are able to pull small groups, work with students one-on-one, so that we are able to make sure that those foundational skills are being laid so that students are prepared and ready to read, write, and they're great mathematicians before moving to third, fourth, and fifth. So having those lower numbers in our primary grades is a tremendous effort so that we can get our students where they need to be. Our reading interventionist is Ms. Stephanie McClellan. She does a great job pulling students from kindergarten all the way to fifth grade. Again, making sure that those foundational skills are there and that students are prepared and ready to read. If not, even in fourth and fifth grade, we are still going back during that time, and we're going back and we're doing reading horizons and teaching those phonemics, the phonics and phonemic skills that are missing, so that students have that, so that they're able to read and write. These three positions are very important to us, and they make a huge difference so that students are prepared for those upper grade levels. Next slide. Some of the instructional materials that we cover are chart paper, markers, construction paper, paint, and glue sticks. We want our teachers to have what they need so that they can create fun and engaging lessons for our students. Our books and resources and manipulatives, we are constantly making sure that we have what we need for Tiger Time. And during this time is an intervention and enrichment time for all of our students from kindergarten all the way to fifth grade, where teachers are meeting their needs for reading, math, as well as social emotional needs. So we work closely with our teachers, and we meet each month to see what those students need and make sure that that they're getting those small group interventions or enrichment so that they can be prepared. We also use this money for our One School, One Book initiative. Ms. Jamie Davis, our reading coach, she did a great job with that this year. We just wrapped that up. I will talk a little bit more about that because we also paired that up with our Stream Night this year, and we had great success. So I have some pictures to share to go over how that initiative and that event went. Next slide. Some of our subscriptions that we cover are iExcel for science for fourth grade. We cover Generation Genius for science in fifth grade, Vocabulary and GimKit, as well as reflex math. That is for kindergarten all the way to 5th grade. And this program does a great job. Our students spend about 10 minutes a day on it, but it's really building those fluency facts for whatever they need. So for the lower grades, they're working on addition and subtraction. For the upper grades, you would see multiplication and division. So again, building those facts so that students can be successful in math. Some of our technology needs that have been covered are headphones, the headphones with the microphones that go along with a couple of our assessments and programs that we use. And then we also have been replacing document cameras so that they'll work well with our new panels. So our stream, we just had our stream night and our trunk or treat event. And again, we partnered this up, or we paired this up with our One School, One Book initiative. So it was about, our title of the book was 8 Class Pets. So it's about different pets that went in and caused chaos in the classroom. And our students loved this book. They enjoyed coming in each day, talking about what was happening. And so we decided to pair that up with our stream night. And so you can see we had Scaly's Adventure. They came in during the day and they taught, they were able to showcase, you see lots of different reptiles, but also they taught a social emotional lesson with our students during their related arts time. So all of our students were able to participate in this event. They were also able to take away a bookmark with some encouraging words, as well as have their picture made with one of their snakes. And so you can see a lot of smiles. Our students and some of our teachers were able to conquer some of their fears that day, but it was just a great time. And then Scaly's Adventures, they were also at our family night. And so they had a station set up in the gym and they brought out different animals and reptiles for our families to see. And the gym stayed full the entire night with different families having their pictures made, learning about the different reptiles, and the students just really getting to showcase their learning and excitement for that night and that event. So it was a really great time. And again, just a great way of pairing literacy with our stream night. Next slide. So each grade level for the past couple of years, each grade level, they have an event that is, and we give complete autonomy to the teachers of what they would like to showcase and highlight for their families. So with K4 works with Miss Davis, and she shared about how they have already had muffins for mom, donuts for dad, as well as grits for gran. So the parents and grandparents were able to come in and enjoy time with their student by completing an activity, reading a book. Our kindergarten teachers, they will kick off their gingerbread house event in the next couple of weeks. During this time, we have families that will come in. Our cafeteria will be full of families as they complete and they create a gingerbread house with their student. Our first grade teachers, they plan the holiday market and a classroom. Their class also does a play for their families. So this is where our families will come in, they get to watch their students perform in a play, and then students have created different things to sell, whether it's ornaments, cookies and milk. And so then in our school, this is really a school-wide event where the students will be able to come and shop at the holiday market that our first graders, they run the stations, they've created all of the things that they are selling that day. And it really has, it's a great time that our entire school looks forward to. And then they use this money to go on field trips, to have an end of the year fun event for their students to celebrate all of their hard work and learning. Our second grade team, they're still working on what they're going to do in the spring. Last year, they completed a how-to project with their families. And so their student had created, they got to choose one thing to explain in writing of how to do something. So for example, my personal child, he did how to throw a baseball. So they did their writing and then they were able to work with Ms. Shawn Craft and come up with a Google presentation to present what they had learned. So just a great way to showcase how we're using technology in the classroom to enhance our learning. Our third grade team, they will have the Wax Museum where students get to choose an important person that they would like to research, and then they dress up as that person and we invite our families in. And our students also get to go through the Wax Museum and learn about these important people that our students have researched and dressed up as on that day. Our fourth grade team just had their glow writing event for families, and they did this on STEAM night as well. So the entire library was completely pitch black. They had black lights on where the students' paper and writing was actually glowing in the dark. So a lot of our families were able to go through and read the spooky stories that our fourth graders created. And so it was a great time. And then our fifth grade team, they just hosted our Veterans Day gallery walk where students bring in different artifacts. They display their writings of important people to them. And so you can see some of the pictures and how the hallway is filled with our important guests. And so students took a lot of pride in having their special visitor come join us for that afternoon. And we did actually have Congresswoman Miss Sherry Biggs. She was able to join us. One of our students wrote about her and invited her to the event. So she was able to come and then also speak with our students on that day. So it was a great time. So just looking forward to the ones that we have coming up, but it's just a great time for our families to come in and see what their student is learning and be a part of that. Next slide. This year we have started something new. Each 9 weeks, we replaced doing our donut celebration with a quarterly pinning ceremony. So during this time, we're recognizing students for their hard work, their positive choices, and their academic growth. So these students, they receive special pins to celebrate their achievement and leadership at STAR. So you can see in the pictures, our students, they all received a lanyard, and then they are working hard each 9 weeks to earn pins to fill their lanyard with. And so what we're hoping to get from this is that our students will be motivated. They'll want to, they're setting goals and working hard to earn these goals. And then also learning that if I do not reach my goal in the first 9 weeks, then I can work really hard the second 9 weeks to earn that pin or that medal. We partnered with our STAR Squad, which is our parent group at STAR Elementary. Miss Lori Hammer has been a tremendous help with this. She helped organize the pin. She helped organize the ceremony as well as order the pins and also find sponsorships to help fund this. And so I could not be more thankful for our STAR Squad and those members that really helped this come to life. And so we just finished with our Q1 pinning ceremony, and our students are excited and they're working hard to earn more pins or to earn a pin in Q2. So we're excited to see this initiative continue to grow at STAR. Next slide. On this slide, you can see some of the pictures of different community events that we've already had this year and some of the things we have coming up. So these are just different opportunities to have our families in and to get allow our community members to be involved. So we've had our back to school fun night. We partnered with Michelin so that our students were able to feed our families as well as have bouncy houses and fun activities for our families to participate in after they met their child's teacher. We've had our stream night and our community trunk or treat event. That was a great time. We also have already hosted our grandparents event and book fair. Our STAR Squad, again, that group is formed with parent volunteers in our school. So they do a lot of different things to help raise money, to help make these events bigger and better by helping run the stations. Whatever we really need, those families and those parents are ready to jump in and help. Our mentoring program, this is something that Ms. Barber has continued to do over the past several years, and it continues to grow. So we have different members of our community that volunteer their time to come and mentor to our students. And this year we have right at 70 students that have a mentor at STAR, and we are so appreciative because those students, they look forward to seeing that mentor provide, whether it's encouragement, motivation. They're excited to see them each week at lunch or at recess whenever they come. We also have our mystery readers that come in and read with our students. Those are different parents and community members. And then a couple events that we have coming up. We have our family fun night and our service project that our student council is working towards. They will be running stations to build care packages for our local nursing home. And so that is coming up in December. And then in March, we will have our fine arts night and our school talent show. So we're excited about the upcoming events and just, again, appreciative for all of the support that our district and our community, as well as our school, the support that we receive so that we're able to host and to provide our family with these experiences. So again, just thankful for everyone's support and help. At this time, does anyone have any questions for me?
Ms. Hatcher,
Yes.
as a grandparent at Star Elementary, I just want to let you know that your programs are working. My grandchildren are all the time talking about the different events that you're having. And I just had a recent conversation with my grandson about the pinning ceremony. And it is motivation for them when they see their friends. He made the comment, so-and-so got this many and I got this many. I have to work harder next time,
Yes.
just so it does matter and it is working for those. So I appreciate all that you're doing at STAR to motivate the children.
Thank you. That definitely means a lot. That's our goal. And so I'm excited to hear that and excited to see quarter two, because we have a lot of students that are, yes, having those conversations, and that definitely makes my heart happy. So I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you, guys. It's amazing. Every year I'm just absolutely amazed at the lengths that you guys go to above and beyond your normal jobs, outside your normal hours, outside the normal academic program, that y'all keep working harder and harder and harder to make your schools inviting, warm, caring place for not only your students, but for our community as well. It's evident that you guys are using those federal dollars and maximizing the amount of benefit that we get out of them. The next program we're going to talk about is Title II. Again, you can click on that link at the heading of the slide. It'll take you to the definition. We spend Title II in two different ways. Number one is funds a teacher at our middle school to reduce classroom size, and we use that to pay for a math teacher there. Math is some of the area that we struggle across our district in performance, and those funds in the past have paid for a teacher to reduce the math class sizes at Star Island Middle School. And we also use it to pay for our mentor teachers. There's an epidemic of teachers getting into our profession and staying less than 5 years. And part of that is the fact they don't feel supported. We have wonderful administrators that support our teachers academically with the resources in their classroom and then also with discipline. But sometimes it's great to just have a mentor there to work with them that have been in the trenches. They know how it is, and it gives them an opportunity to share ideas back and forth between the two and just have rich conversations and make them have an opportunity to talk to somebody typically outside their classroom or outside their field potentially. So that mentor program carries a lot of teachers past that induction year and makes their year much easier for them to manage. So that's how we spend our Title II funding in this district. Does anybody have any? Now, we've not received our official GAN and we're still working on those programs. I think at the beginning we mentioned the federal programs all coming down have been delayed this year due to some changes in funding sources and how they're massaging the Department of Education at the federal level. So does anybody have any questions about Title I or Title II? Great. Hearing none, we'll go ahead and proceed to Title III.
Good morning. Laura Beth Smith. I am over, you'll get to hear me talk about Title III, 4, and 5. So I get to bring up the rear, talk about the last three federal programs that we have. Title III, our allocation this year, I just wrote this grant last week. We typically write this in September. State Department was a little bit late on this one, but the allocation this year is $9,104.83. Last year it was around $7,000, so we did see an increase of about $2,000. And the reason for that is this is based on the number of MLL students that we have, and our student population has increased this year. We're part of a consortium with Anderson School District 5, and we work with them, and we have a memorandum of agreement. These funds have been transferred to the consortium. We use these funds together to help our program. We'll go to the next slide. You'll see how we use these funds. You can see the Title III budget. The State Department pretty much tells us how to use this money. We have to have each one of these line items. The first one is $7,000. We use this for a program where we house our iLaps. This is for document storage, record keeping, and parent communication. This is where our individual language program is housed. That is for $7,000. Last year we wrote this the next part in this grant, we felt like this was important. I worked with the elementary principals and also Miss Melissa Davis, and we talked about the best way to spend the money because we're supposed to use it for family engagement. And so we ordered some packets that we're going to send home with students before Thanksgiving. This will be just for the MLL students. This is a shared reading program. It's a packet. There's multiple books in there. The books are in Spanish and in English, and this will help our students to work with the parent while reading at home. We figured this would be a good time to send home. So this will be out for a week next week. Maybe they can use this time to work with the students. And then also it'll be around Christmas, and we're out for 2 weeks around Christmas. So we felt like this would be a good way to promote family reading and literacy in the home with these students. So we'll be sending these home within the next couple of weeks. And then the final allocation, we use $450, and this is for professional development. This is for state or conferences around the area. And we are using some of these funds for the ESOL conference that Ms. Heather Smith attended. We'll go to the next slide. You'll see our ML student population. This is current. Ms. Heather Smith and Kel Simpson looked at this last week. We have discussed this. As you can see, our numbers, we have 56 at the elementary school, 14 at the middle school, 19 at the high school. Including monitored, there's 77, 34, and 27. Monitored students are the students that have passed the Access WIDA test, but we still consider them an MLL student. We monitor them, we check in on them, make sure we're taking care of their needs as well. You can see all the different languages just in our school district that our MLL students speak. We majority Spanish, then we have Russian, Ukrainian, and then you can see French, Swahili, Haitian Creole. Yep, the G word, Tagalog, Burmese Chin, and Mara. Yeah, we have a good many different languages and a good many needs. So we try to use that money the best way that we can. Heather Smith and Kel Simpson do a fantastic job with this group of students, working with them through the home. I know Mr. Simpson's made home visits. We appreciate all the hard work that this group does. So that is Title III. Anybody have any questions about Title III? Hearing none, we'll move on to Title IV. Title IV, you can see this allocation. It has decreased since the year 2022. We're still using this money to help with STREAM. You can see how it's previously used. Again, this budget has not been approved yet. Still writing this, still waiting on these numbers. Next slide, please. I'm going to talk about the STREAM program again, but I'm going to look at it from a district perspective. Remember with STREAM, you've heard from all the elementary schools and how they have STREAM nights and STREAM days. But at the district level, we also use these funds for our robotic competitions. We use it for our music program, band, chorus. So, the district level, we try to use these funds for all these programs and to help all our programs be successful. And we've had a lot of success at from the music programs, from our robotics competitions. We've had people to go to Dallas for the national competition. We've had people to go to the national jet toy competitions. But as you can see, each school, they have STREAM nights, STREAM day events. We have literacy nights with the One Book, One School program. Title IV and V funds actually fund those One Book, One School program. Every child receives a book at the elementary school level. The competitions, we have VEX, Jet Toy, and Glider at the middle school. We partner with AIT and First Quality to provide the VEX robotics competitions. There's the dates, the scrimmages will be at AIT. We have one day on January the 15th for just the elementary school, and then on the 16th will be for the middle school. That could be vice versa, but we have a day just for elementary school where elementary schools from the area come in and compete together. And then the competition is January the 31st, and that's a Saturday where our teams will compete, and then they can move on to regionals and continue with the different competitions that are in the area. Another thing I'd like to bring up is about our string camp. We've had this camp. This will be the 8th year that we've had string camp. We already had the dates. We were already working on it. As Mr. Powell talked about, Ms. Stone working on string day the day after the actual day is over. I start working on STEAM camp for the next summer while we're still in the process of STEAM camp. We always try to make it bigger, better every year, and I think we've been very successful with string camp. We have kids that don't want to stop coming. We have 8th graders. Last year, we had a high schooler that came and drove herself and helped with us. This past summer, we had it at Flat Rock, just because Crescent was having some electrical work done during the summer. It wasn't feasible for us to be able to be in that building, but this year we'll move it back to Crescent High School so that we can use all their facilities. So we're excited about that. Next slide, please. As you can see, Title V, again, this budget is still in the process. This was the allocation for last year, 2025. Budget for 2026 is still being written and completed, but in the past, it funded a string coordinator and string supplies. Again, the allocation for supplies included art, string, course, and band classrooms. And as I said, we have really improved all these programs, and I do believe that this is a good place to spend our money for Title IV and V. And I'm very proud of all these groups. I'm proud of all the robotics teams that I get to work with. I'm proud of all the robotics teachers, the string teachers, the band teachers, the chorus teachers. This really, really enhances our string program, and it gives our students more opportunities to be successful and to learn more and be excited about school and give them a reason to come to school. So thank you very much. Anybody have any questions about Title IV and V? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. I can honestly say going to music and band programs for the last decade, all of our arts programs from elementary all the way through high school have increased exponentially in their ability to perform and the quality of their performances. Our string programs are absolutely vital within our schools. There's 2 million STEM jobs are unfilled this year alone, and the STEM field is expected to grow by 10.4% by 2033. And that's in comparison to 3.6% in non-STEM jobs. So if we are not working to get our students motivated, excited about these STEM and STREAM opportunities, we're missing out as a district. So I appreciate the work that you do, Dr. Smith, and that all of our administrators do to work those programs into our curriculum and maintain good quality experiences for our students. Final slide is our link to the fiscal year 25 plans. This is a live document. So as those other plans, we receive the GAN on those, receive the funding, and they get approved from the State Department, we will make those links live so that everybody can see those plans in their entirety, and they'll be made available on our district webpage. So still waiting on the state level to get some plans through and answer some of our questions and get those plans approved. And I just thank you for your participation and your attention. That's my contact information. Feel free to call, email, come by and see us. We are always trying to make our programs better. As a reminder, we'll be sending out our survey information, and we will hopefully be able to share that in our spring meeting along with all of our completed plans. So thank you for all of our presenters. Thank you for everybody in attendance. If no one has any questions, this will conclude our fall federal programs meeting. Hearing none, thank you guys. I hope you have a great day. Look forward to hearing from you.